Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Pathways to Excellence. Today, we are most privileged to have here the one, the only, the Lee Wei Lun. We are here, we're at Sunway. It is incredible weather right here. Wei Lun right here is, in fact, one of the two Malaysians selected this year to attend Yale University. Congratulations on your incredible achievements. Thank you. So, how do you feel? Oh, I felt incredible. I remember, I think it was the day after I got accepted to Yale, where I felt I couldn't do anything for the entire day. So I was mainly I was just chilling or having went out with friends and all that. Yeah. But on the day itself though, when I received the acceptance, again, I think that's his name. Like basically the guy who oversees, I think like the Malaysian sort of association. Mm-hmm. So he called me the next morning, congratulate me and invite me for like a lunch with alumni that are here. And it was only then when I realized how competitive and how big of a deal it was. The day when I received the decision, which was the day before, I was happy, yeah, sure, but I didn't know that, wow, it was that competitive. Like, I really didn't know. I went into the whole application process with complete blind optimism. That's so. I mean, like, we have that one picture of you right here. Like, basically, you're just like that one kid. It's like, oh, yo, what's up? How's it going? but now I understand. I'm so sorry, guys. I understand how difficult it actually is. Yeah. Well, congratulations on your achievement. An incredible and interesting pathway awaits ahead of you right here. What do you intend to study at Yale? So I intend to study computer science and economics. So it's actually a joint major. Actually, it was the major I was most interested in out of all the majors over all the schools that I applied to. Because I had to choose, right? I had to choose between studying computer science as a major or economics as a major because I really, really like both. Right. But at Yale, I can just do both. I can do both. ¿Por qué no los dos? Yes.
And I see that you also have relevant work experience. You're working, if I'm not wrong, at ALPHV Technologies at the moment.
Yeah, so it's actually pronounced ALPHV Technologies. My boss told me like they went with V instead of A because A is taken or something.
Daren Tan, I have your intern right here. Yes, I did rent out the house, by the way. It's a thing.
Oh, do you know Daren?
Of course.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's like the founder of Developer Kaki, right?
Oh, yeah. So, funny thing, I'm actually not an intern. I was just thinking like, maybe I should try to find like a job instead of an internship. I already like have heard a lot of like internship experiences from all my other friends.
I see.
Internships. So I spent quite a while job hunting and luckily Daren was willing to take me.
So all right, man knows his talent right there. All right, what led you into, I guess, computer science and econ, and what also you think that you might want to do that in the future?
Let's start with computer science, right? So I was always known within my friend group to be like the tech bro. You know what I mean? Like I'm always the one that people call for tech support within my social circles. I didn't know that I wanted to do computer science until year 10. Funny thing, because I took IGCSEs. So year 10 was when we had to choose our subjects for IGCSEs. So initially I took art. I took art. And
I can kind of tell right there. You know, like you have the whole art student.
I look like an art student.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, I think that's a compliment. Thank you so much.
I think like, you know, in the worst case scenario, you might end up like, you know, like studying underwater basket weaving, you know, right there, like programming algorithms to like weave baskets for like the Yale community.
Who knows? Like that. We might try. We might merge. Yale is very well known for their arts, right? Yeah. So I changed to computer science because I realized that, oh my god, most of the time we aren't even actually going to be doing art.
Yeah.
I took art for art, right? Not to do like my own like research and all that. Yeah. Right? Joined some coding competitions, then I realized, oh, this is for me.
This is for you.
Yeah, that's for me. So, I realized I really enjoy building stuff with code. And for econs, so I didn't know that I liked econs. I thought I took econs in A-levels. So in fact, I wouldn't have taken econs if Sunway offered computer science, but because the Sunway A-level program doesn't offer computer science, so I took econs instead. I can't exactly point out why I really enjoy it, but so in regards to why I decided to go with this major, there's also another reason, which is my future career, my career aspirations, I'll say. So my early career aspirations is to hopefully be a product manager, product manager at hopefully a prominent tech firm. Like a difference between like a product manager and, for example, like a senior software engineer is, I'll say the product manager has to work with more parties. The product manager has to deal with also the clients and the software engineers and other parties in the company. And I realized that I don't want a job where I work from home most of the days and just stare at a computer
And yeah, just
most
like
of the time,
kind of thing.
code. Yeah. And I know that once you get to a certain level of, for example, let's say you become a tech lead, right, at a tech company, you do less code. Maybe I heard from someone who is a tech lead that they code maybe like 30% of the time. The rest of the time they're leading the team. But still, I want to be able to talk with people as part of my job. I want to be able to talk with clients, understand their needs, and then use my technical knowledge to work with the developers, right, come up with a comprehensive solution. So yeah, early career aspiration, product manager. So which is why to be a product manager, you need a pretty decent understanding of business. Yeah, so that's a very big reason why I decided to go with econs. Because the thing with Yale is that they don't offer any sort of business major in their undergraduate.
Right.
Yeah. So I was thinking perhaps maybe the next best major to study to get to I guess know how to run a company in a sense. It's probably econs. So also I was thinking, my mind might change when I go there.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes.
The jury is still out on underwater basket weaving algorithms.
I'm not going to do that just because you suggested it. But
Alright. Okay. But let's go back in time a little bit right there. Could you tell me a little bit about maybe your educational background when you were a bit younger as well? I think that you did your IGCSEs at, was it 3KL?
Yeah, ShiKL. I have more to say about ShiKL than I have to say about IGs. I studied in Chinese school for primary. For my primary education, I did it in a Chinese government school. Then after that, I applied to ShiKL for secondary. I got rejected. Because it has an acceptance rate of 1/5.
Wow.
That's why I didn't do well enough in the entrance exam. Right. So I went to UCSI International School, and then I transferred to ShiKL after finishing year 8 then. Right. So I really started in ShiKL in year 9. And yeah, I mean, ShiKL is amazing. I'll say, like, being a ShiKL student has definitely been a big part of what made me who I am. Which is everyone at ShiKL is very driven, right? And also another thing is that ShiKL provides quite a lot of opportunities. Like they really encourage you to be active extracurricularly while still emphasizing the importance of academic excellence. I'll say, So for example, the sports team at ShiKL, it's incredible. Like we hold our sports days at a stadium, and the house spirit, like it's next level. So yeah, definitely, especially being surrounded by driven people has really made an impact.
I see. Cool. And then I guess what brought you eventually to Sunway?
Two things. One is the campus. I actually was considering between taking A levels and guess what was the other option, the other thing. Yeah, guess what was the other thing I had in mind.
Could it be IB?
I didn't even know IB was big. I didn't know IB was big. Yeah. So it was digital media design at one academy.
Oh my god! Wow! Like the artist spirit is really there.
So yes, I was actually considering going completely the art route. Right. So like with my grades in IGCSE, like they actually said I could go straight to degree, and 4-year degree in digital. So I was like, oh, that's great. So I was choosing between that and Sunway.
It's like a dramatic life shift.
Very
yeah, like I mean, can you imagine like alternate reality Wei Lun basically just like going down that pathway right there? I don't know, like maybe like by now you'd be like kind of like creating galleries, or I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what it would entail, but like what did you have in mind for like a possible future when you were thinking about that?
I mean, I just knew that I really enjoyed making videos. I like doing a bit of digital art at my own time. But not anymore though, back then, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it made sense to me. It felt like something I would enjoy doing. I didn't really think so far into the future at the time. It wasn't like, I want to go into this career. I just knew that, I think I would enjoy this.
It's interesting then.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, so, but then Sunway actually offered a full scholarship.
I see. You got play.
So
Whoa.
I was like,
Fancy Jeffrey Chia. You were smart.
that's all because the campus here was so vibrant. One academy, he was like, it's like more like an office building kind of vibe. So I was like, maybe I want the campus experience. Yeah, those are two main reasons.
That's cool. You know, it's interesting because like you have your intersection of these different interests right here, and of course, like you have this interesting campus. Just out of curiosity, like just total curiosity.
Okay.
Since you know you're into that whole like digital art, media design thing, right there. By any chance, do you know of or have you met Faline San?
I have not met, I know Faline San on YouTube. I know her YouTube channel.
She's at Sunway, you know.
You know, I didn't know that. I've seen her videos, right? I've seen some of her videos, but I did not know that she's actually something.
You just found out.
Yeah, I just found it.
Like in the last couple of seconds.
Yes.
Yes, she's on Sunway campus. Go for her.
Oh, like she's a Sunway uni student doing a degree.
She's a Sunway uni student doing a degree
Oh,
at Sunway.
that is cool.
Faline San collab. Alright.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Wow, fantastic. Because like, I think she wears a mask in videos, right? So you can't really tell.
I mean, like, you could be walking around Faline San and then you might just not know, like, basically the person is Faline San. For all you know, like, I could be Faline San.
No, that's impossible. That's impossible. But yeah, she's because she's like half anonymous in a way. Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Now, when you think about, like, your Sunway experience so far, I guess you've had, like, quite a number of different things that you've done. Like, of course, you were the president, essentially, of the Sunway ALSEO. So, like, that's definitely a thing right there. And you definitely also directed, you know, an initiative that, you know, offered affordable tutoring, prom, a whole bunch of other things along the way. But at the same time, also, you've done like quite a number of different things, like editorial board, designer at 3TL, STEM club president, and so on and so forth, right there. But I want to kind of draw in on something that you mentioned also in the conversation. You said that effectively you were kind of like the big.
Here's the thing, right? I didn't really start caring that much all that much about academics until I'll say year in terms of extracurriculars. I didn't really care much also until year 10. Right. That's why I say I'm quite late to the party. I'm sure most students get admitted into Ivy Leagues probably started when they were in primary or something, or at least at early secondary, you know what I'm saying? Like they started being very active. You interviewed Matthew, he probably started being very active very early, right? No, I'm the complete opposite. I'm not sure what changed it. You know, I think it was more of certain fortunate events that changed it. A combination of self-help videos. I'm sure we all know Ali Abdal, Mark Manson. Yeah, so I started watching some of their videos. And no joke, it really like made me rethink, you know, what kind of life do I want to live. So that was a very important factor. Very important factor. When it came to academics, I think it was some of my friends inviting me to study together. And yeah, so that was when I started not being so lazy with my academics. Near IGCSE, like near the USApps. So I started studying with some friends. To shout them out. Janice Go and Rachel Hang.
Janice Go, Rachel, hey, you're awesome.
Yeah, so they really pushed me. And then I scored quite well in IGCSEs, and the scoring well in IGCSE created this me being motivated to study, and then scoring well and being even more motivated to study. Yeah.
There's like a cognitive science basis for it, right? It's like if you're good at something, then basically then you'll feel more positive emotions, and then you.
Yeah, for real. I really felt that. Yeah, so that was why I really started again caring more about academics. So in some way, I grinded academics quite hard.
Right. Yeah. It's like what 4 A stars, right?
Yeah.
Wrong.
No, it was math, econs, physics, and further math.
Math, econs, physics, and further math. All right then. Kind of moving on from I guess the Sunway experience to I guess like where you're going to be going right now. So I guess why Yale in particular, and what drew you there in the very first place? So funny enough, I actually joined the World Scouts Cup in 2016. So it wasn't like it wasn't like I wanted to join. I was like kind of pushed to join. Right. So it was like right. But 2016 was a time when I didn't really care about extracurriculars. So I got to the global round of World Scouts Cup. Then I found out that if you got into the tournament, right, if you got into the finals, then you'll be held at Yale. So that was when I found about Yale. I didn't get into the finals. Because just say I wasn't typed too much for a competition that at the time, right? Now I'll really like 100% do it, but at the time I didn't really even study for any like sports or something. But yeah, so I didn't get to finals. But yeah, that was when I found out about Yale. Then I looked up about it. I was like, it sounds so cool, and that's why I actually applied to Yale now. Yeah, because I've always found Yale cool. Not in like the teenage sense, like how teenagers find things like, oh my god, but more like I just found some of the things they stand for. I really agree with. For example, Yale really cares about people who support other people. Like basically to succeed, other people don't have to fail. That's their philosophy, and I found that really cool. Right, and also some other things like their residential college system. I was like, that's so cool. Like Harry Potter. I was always a big fan of Harry Potter. Yeah. I can actually imagine you right now, like as a star, the next Harry Potter. There happens right there. The Asian Harry Potter. you can be like the Asian male Cho Chang. Wait, it's Wei Lun from China. You're from China. All right. Okay. I have Chinese heritage, and I am proud of my Chinese identity. Yeah. Where are you actually from, though? Like in Malaysia? I grew up here, like in PJ. PJ all the way. But my parents from ALPHV Technologies. Yeah. So I visit my grandma from Penang like twice a year around there. I see. Yeah. Incredible place. Yes, Penang has the best food. The best food. Are you Penang? The person? But suddenly being looked down upon, Penang people are the best. We are superior. Penang, we have the best food. That's the only reason. That's all you need to be superior. We have the best food. Yes, exactly. The best food. Food is life. Food is life. Food is life. That's also the number one thing that people say when they compare Malaysia and Singapore. What, like food? Like our food is better. Our food is better than Singaporean food. Yeah, right. Our food is more affordable and it's better. You don't have to pay $5 for last month. Yes, that's right. So you better stay in Malaysia for all your life. See first. All right, cool. But so, speaking of Yale, so you're one of only 2 admitted students this year, right? So have you had a chance to speak to Matthew at all? Oh yeah. Actually, because the Yale alum that are here in Malaysia, they invited me and Matthew for lunch, and there I got to meet Matthew. Yeah. I see. So I never met him. Yeah, never met him before. So yeah, I've never actually met someone like Matthew before. When you watch those videos of how I got into MIT, how I got into STEM. Those videos on typically they'll tell you what the action curriculums are and all that. And you'll be like, wow, that is so impressive. Yeah. This guy they're telling me this person is 18, like this person is 19. Yeah, that's Matthew. So my first time actually meeting someone like that in real life, that is Matthew. So I was like, so if you try the lunch, I think his name is Julian. I'm so sorry if his name is not Julian, but it's the guy who invited us. He was telling everyone of Matthew's achievements, and then internally I was just like, whoa. I was just like, you're for real? Yeah, incredible, really incredible. So the thing I'm excited most about about when it comes to Yale is being surrounded by Matthews. You know what I mean? Like people in the same league. It's be able to be surrounded by them, they're such driven people, it's going to rub off on me as well. I'm going to become even more driven and all as a result, and I can't wait for that. Amazing. Yeah. Less procrastination, less slacking off on my part as well. Yeah, cool. So one very big part really of applying, I guess, to Yale would be say college admissions essays as well. How was that process for you actually? College admission essays? Yeah. Oh, it's super stressful. You know why? Why? I only started 2 weeks before the deadline because I didn't have time before that to really focus on it.
So it was more like I had a personal statement, rough draft. I only really started on all the other essays and refining my personal statement in the last 2 weeks. And in the last 2 weeks, I was on a trip to China as well. So it was during my trip, I was walking around the tourist destination on my phone, writing my essay on your phone. Yes.
You were writing your essay on your phone.
Yes, and then at night after we went back to the hotel, I had to continue staying up and writing out the essays on my laptop. It's incredibly stressful.
Okay.
Yeah. So that means that meant that I didn't really have much time to really refine that. So I was like, okay. At a point, I really wanted to get into a good school. So I had to narrow down my choices. I had to focus on tests, to ensure quality, right? So I focused on Harvard, Yale, and Princeton essays. I didn't apply to MIT, which was originally what I wanted to apply to. I realized that I don't really have like great of a maker portfolio. I was like, I saw not. So I focused on my attention on those three. So I was writing essays for those three and my common personal statement throughout my trip to China. And then the 5 days in the beginning of January, which is like the deadlines for most of like the top schools, the T20 schools. I applied to quite a number of them. I had to rush my essay like the day before.
I see.
Yeah, but luckily I focused on Yale. Let's just say that. Luckily, my Yale essays I would say are quite refined.
What did you write about? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do remember. So there are a few Yale essays. There's actually two main Yale essays.
Right.
First one was about, I guess, your major. I think there was something about like what major you wanted to do at Yale or something like that. Something related to my major. There were three essays, sorry. And second one was the why Yale, like why did you choose Yale. Third one was you have to choose one of three. Like I went with the intellectual. Like tell us about a time when someone, you had a debate with someone or something about like an intellectual topic, and then the person was opposing your views.
You reflect on the time you discuss an issue. Yeah, that's I think the debate one. Reflect on the time you discuss an issue important to you with someone putting an opposing view.
Yeah. So you would like to know about that first?
Sure.
Okay. Funny enough, I'm not gonna reveal who this person is because this person is a very close friend of mine. I'm just gonna say, let's call her E. Okay, let's call her E. So E.
All right.
Okay. So E is a very religious Christian.
Yes.
I'm not a Christian, and nor am I religious in my own religion, which is Buddhism, my family. So I'm a pretty agnostic person, and I always felt like being agnostic is the most logical position to hold, right? Because who actually knows, right? So that was what I felt, and then so I was already very close friends with Eve for quite a while until I found out last year how religious she was, like. So she said a few things that really like threw me off, and then I couldn't accept it for a while. So I was like, how can someone really think like that? So for example, like she believe in evolution, she believes in Adam and Eve. So in my mind, like at the time, I was just like, this is so illogical. How can you think like that? So that was my view. And then so my essay talked about my journey of getting more and more exposed to other religious people. And then slowly being able to prioritize respect over logic, and then so there was like 2 months where I just couldn't like see her in a very positive light simply because of her religious views, and so I thought about how eventually as I realized that I was stuck in my own echo chamber on YouTube where I only watch agnostic and atheism arguments. Yeah, so I dive a bit into echo chambers as well, and eventually I thought about how I don't let any disagreement in worldviews affect my friendships, my closer friendships anymore. Yeah, and how now I try to respect all types of worldviews. Yeah, and the importance of being aware of yourself, like judging other people.
Right.
So yeah, okay, so that's what I wrote about.
I'm not sure if you're watching out here. Maybe it's part of the divine plan to get this one right here into Yale, and also what will come along the way. Who knows? Could you also tell me a little bit about what you wrote for some of the rest of your Yale essays as well?
Sure. So for the Yale essay, let me just start with that first. I wrote about how I really wanted to immerse myself in the performing arts scene at Yale. Wow. So as someone who was somewhat involved in performing arts, I really enjoy it. I super enjoy it. Back in Chical, I used to be very active in our annual charity concert, which is quite a big thing there. In Chinese dance, choreograph some dances and all. and I really enjoyed dancing.
Mm.
I talk about that a lot, like because and we all know that Yale is very well known for performing arts. So I looked at some of the Yale dance company and things like that. So I'm definitely going to try to audition for some of those dance groups when I'm at Yale. Maybe not Yale dance because Yale dance is more contemporary. But some other ones.
Would you consider like Yale stand-up comedy the same way that Gajan did?
Gayan did stand up.
Yes, I think.
Really?
But what?
Gayan, you did stand up comedy. What?
Yeah, so
Gayan, you're funny. I think I need to find out more.
who knows what will happen as a result of this conversation?
I think what's going to happen as a result is I think Gayan does wrestling right now, right?
Yeah.
So she's going to challenge me to an MMA match and she's gonna beat me up. Like she's going to destroy me.
She's gonna destroy you.
Yeah, she's gonna and I can't I'm not gonna be able to
It's okay, bro. Like you can dance yourself away from her.
like that. Whoa.
It's like she's gonna try to wrestle you, and then like you just be all like, oh, you know.
Then,
Or like she tries to punch you, and then like you can redirect her momentum, and then like you can basically pull her around.
that,
Then she'll run away.
that's one way to win a fight. But yeah, but essentially that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get beaten up.
Yeah, well,
Gary, please forgive me. Anyways,
so performance arts, that's one thing. What are other things that you talk about as well?
of course, you know the typical residential transition. Yeah, I talked about how I like that. And also I talked about Harkness teaching method, which was like the round table teaching method.
Yes.
That they use in some of the classes, and I thought about why that was so appealing to me. Thought about how like typical lectures don't work that well for me. That's why I spend a lot of my time self-studying. Sunway and in IGs, but I really like the round table sort of discussion.
Right.
And I also talked about their incubator, right? Their innovation programs. Like they have this like project to product or something. I forgot the name exactly, but it was something like that. And I thought about how I'll make use of that to develop and commercialize some software. Yeah. Yeah.
By any chance, was there a part of your experience where you consider, like putting in, I would like to join a secret society?
No, I did not talk about secret societies. I knew about secret societies. I only roughly mentioned it. I just thought, I think I roughly mentioned it. I can't remember whether I did, but I think I roughly just mentioned, it sounds like something like that. That's it. Sounds cool. Yeah, I didn't really dive into it. Yeah.
So, and that was like right before like he joined Skulls and Bones.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It was here in this video.
you think I'll actually end up joining Skulls and Bones? How hard is it to actually get into a secret society? Like you need invitation or something, right?
He's asking me this right now, but like when it eventually happens right there, then like,
I don't know that much at all about secret societies. After all, they're secret, right? Right. But honestly, I don't know that much about secret societies.
spoken like true secret society.
Okay. Okay, maybe I'll actually end up in one. We'll see. We'll see.
All right, cool. Okay, so reflecting on the time, you discussed something important, and then, well, why Yale? And then what was the last thing that you talked about?
Yeah, tell us about a topic or idea that excites you and is related to one or more academic areas. Oh, so for this one, I talk about immersive technology. So I've always I fancied the idea of the metaverse.
I have a few thoughts about that, like the analogy of the sky. Okay, anyway, but yes, tell me more.
You know, I do believe in the future. I think it'll bring us a lot of productivity and creates a world that's way more interconnected than it is even now. A lot more connected. Like for example, I have a lot of friends overseas. I can literally just hop into the same room as them through the metaverse and hang out with them like usual. So I really fancy that idea. But I just think that there's a lot of societal dilemmas into how to implement this concept in such a way where we don't drive ourselves into madness. As in making the world more isolated and bombarding people with even more stimulation. So you could imagine yourself being in the metaverse and there's ads around you. That is possible, and we are already stimulated enough, right? So I've always thought about questioning these kind of things. I also wrote an article about it, and so I'm super interested in the aspect, in the societal and social sciences aspect of technologies, right? Like how do we actually make sure that this advancement in immersive technologies will benefit society, right? So that's what I wrote about. I wrote about some books I read, my thoughts on this topic, the societal concerns, I talk about how I love Yale's interdisciplinary approach in computer science, where I get to explore the social sciences aspect as well. And true enough, right? I talk about courses like AI for Future Presidents, law, technology, and culture, and how I want to take some of these courses to investigate the risks of immersive technologies as a medium for widespread human interactions. And yeah, so I think this interest in interdisciplinary studies is probably why Yale thought I was a good fit as well.
Yeah, for sure. We need someone for sure to make sure that people don't wear their Apple Vision Pro while driving a Tesla Cybertruck.
I do think that the Apple Vision Pro, because of its extremely low response time, is probably still safe to drive a Tesla Cybertruck with. Probably because it's pretty much real time. Like what you're seeing through it is the latency is so low that it's 8 milliseconds, right? It's unnoticeable. So I think it's still quite safe. I can't say the same about other headsets though. Apple Vision Pro specifically, possibly.
Wow.
As long as you're not putting like a window in front of you, playing a YouTube video, right? Maybe there has to be some laws around that.
Right.
Yeah, but as long as maybe perhaps you're wearing it just to have like the time displayed in the corner or something. Maybe that's okay. Yeah.
Wow. So like, am I looking at a current or future Apple Vision Pro owner?
Yes. I'm deeply entrenched in the Apple ecosystem, but I do plan to explore like the Samsung ecosystem after this.
Wait, meaning like, why are you getting a Vision Pro?
No. I don't have a Vision Pro. I'm in the Apple ecosystem as in I'm using Apple products.
Yeah, same.
Right. It's just seamless, right? But yeah, Apple Vision Pro. I think I would explore getting one just for the sake of development. I would really want to try to develop some apps for it. I'll say. Yeah.
Amazing. Cool.
Yeah, because I always thought like, the most fun thing that I of a career that I possibly think of right now is being a developer or product manager of sorts for immersive immersive technologies, right? Yeah. So that's the thing that I really wanted to get into, and I still want to get into. So yeah, I'm going to explore quite a bit of that.
When you think about what the future then of immersive technologies is likely to be, like based on what you know right now, what do you suppose that it could be? And if not what it could be, then what sort of future would you like to drive it towards?
Okay, so here's some concerns that I have. And I think that if we manage to rectify these concerns, immersive technologies will basically bring us to a utopia of sorts. I genuinely think that because as immersive technologies get more and more advanced, it's going to be very easy to simulate, like for example, being in those sci-fi environments, and you feel like you're actually there. People do a lot of fun stuff with your friends. It's like playing video games with friends are really so fun, right? Can you imagine being in a virtual world with your friends? That's even better. Like completely fully immersive virtual world. But there are of course some things that we really need to address before we can actually arrive at a utopia instead of a dystopia. One is I would say when it comes to advertisements, right? Nowadays, everything we do on our phones already translates to data that can be collected by Google, Facebook, and all these tech companies to target personalized ads at you. It's going to be even worse when it comes to immersive technologies. I could see, like for example, let's say you're wearing your Beta Quest headset, and you glance at a sneaker inside the Metaverse for longer than usual, longer than the average person. Next thing you know,
You receive ads like
you receive sneaker ads.
oh yeah,
Or like your phone or whatever, anything. So before that, it was like what you're viewing on your phone, right? Like for example, you decide to search up sneaker videos or whatever. Now even the data of your vision is collected as a means to target personalized ads. And how far is this going to go? What's the next thing? Touch? What's the next thing? You know what I mean?
we are currently touching on some big grass right here.
It's like what if your hand is resting longer than usual on your friend's AirPods Max? What's the next thing going to be? You get advertisements for AirPods Max, right? Of course, there's an argument for like how much do people actually care, like how much do people actually worry about this. But that's one of the concerns that we definitely address as a society.
Right. Well, if you had, for example, situations where maybe like children, for example, get access to like advertisements for things that maybe like they should not be seeing, for example, different kinds of like products, right, that maybe like not age appropriate kind of thing. Like, can you imagine, like, basically you're just like touching a random thing right there, and it's like suddenly then, like, as a kid, like a 5-year-old, then you suddenly get an ad for like an adult toy.
So firstly, I don't think that's going to be a problem because now we already have sort of like a filter for people below a certain age. So I think it'll probably be the same for personalized ads. In the future, like I don't see that being too big of a problem. But of course, I think you know how, like, for example, when you sign up to TikTok or whatever platforms, they ask for your age, right? And then most people just lie, like most kids, and they don't do any checks. I think some checks should be done because these kids, they don't realize that how damaging it is to be using, for example, scrolling TikTok at such a young age, and then just ruining your own attention span because you're not at the age where you really understand the damage that it's doing to you. The other thing that I could see potentially being a really, really bad outcome with immersive technologies is if there's no regulation at all when it comes to using it for entertainment purposes. Now, it's addictive enough to play video games on your computer. The only reason why that I would say VR games right now aren't as addictive is because wearing a VR headset for an extended period of time makes you dizzy, and you really feel the need to take it off and rest. In the future, this is not going to be a problem. The technology is going to improve further and further. Like how now you can look at phone screens for an entire day without really feeling that much eye strain. Back then, it's not the case. Now, because of new technologies, like anti-flickering, all that kind of thing, we don't really get the eye strain problem. So we look at our phones and play games all day on our phones. It's going to be the same for VR. It's going to be eventually so comfortable to use that we can just use it for the entire day. And I can't, and especially as games become even more immersive along with that, I can't imagine how it's going to be, especially for teenagers. Like, there's already enough kids getting addicted to video games in school. It's going to be even worse, right, with immersive technologies. There has to be some sort of regulation. Like, I think it's a responsibility of the EU and all these governmental organizations to maybe put a limit on
the number of hours, maybe.
Yeah, maybe the number of hours or
the type of content that's actually available.
Type of content, maybe not.
See, this is the thing, right? Because like for a very long time, there was this whole debate about whether certain video games, like for example, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas or Call of Duty, right, would maybe incite people to actually like perform violence, that kind of thing. But at the same time, like there are kind of like contrasting studies, right? Some people say that essentially playing video games allows people to immerse themselves into a world and by extension, therefore, release certain kinds of impulses that they might otherwise have released in an unproductive way right here. But it does make me wonder, whether there is the possibility that you would have a situation where people wouldn't be able to differentiate what is real in the sense of being tangible or physical in the world, and in turn, like, what is that metaverse overlay experience?
Oh, definitely. I could easily see, someone having a bad day, going into the metaverse and using a bat to beat up virtual characters.
Oh yeah.
And there could be like realistic blood splashing on them. Right. I'm not too sure how big of a problem this is in the current computer games that we have, like Grand Theft Auto. I'm not too sure. Because when, like, for example, let's say I'm playing like Call of Duty, when I shoot and kill someone in Call of Duty, like, the satisfaction doesn't come from me killing someone. It just comes from really scoring points and winning, right? At least that's how I feel. I'm not sure about whether there's actually people feel satisfaction from killing other, but it's going to be different in the metaverse. Like, I could easily see, like that example that I gave, using a bat to beat people. I think more research definitely has to be done on what this could mean for our, like, psychologically, for us. Like, in the same way that serial killers, they start from killing animals, small animals. Right? I'm sure that's well documented. Then eventually they move on to killing humans. Could it be the same where like because it feels so real, immersive technologies will eventually get so good that when you use a bat to beat someone, it feels like you're actually beating someone. Especially with haptics and all that. Like I could see this creating a society of violent people. Right. Especially now we already have it's already quite a somewhat natural human impulse to like punch a wall when you're very, very having a bad day. And we all should control ourselves in that regard. But what if it's romanticized to just take it out in VR? What's that going to do to our psychic? We definitely need research on that, and then using those research regulation to ban this kind of what do you call it, projecting anger type of apps that I see being developed.
Oh yeah, sure. And it's interesting as well because like, you know, when people think about say releasing anger, that kind of thing, like there's some kind of like interesting research as well. I'm not sure if this is from Yale, but like this idea that basically, you know, when you release your anger, basically you're creating the conditions, like a feedback loop for more anger. Like in the same way that basically like, you know, you were good at your studies and then basically then you ended up like, you know, studying even more along the way. So okay, thank you for that. That was like very, very enlightening you know, like thought process right there. And yeah, so I hope that, you know, if you're going to be able to do it, that you'll be able to contribute positively in that regard.
Yeah, I'm just super interested in these kind of topics. In fact, I recently started. I mean, I haven't started a YouTube channel, but I started. The script is almost done and all for like a YouTube channel with video essays on topics like this. Yeah. So
amazing.
So yeah, I haven't decided on the name. It's just that like the first video is almost done, but that's all I can say right now. Maybe I can let you know. It's on topics like this because I'm so passionate about topics like this. Yeah.
Amazing. Wow. Cool. Kind of moving towards the end of this conversation right here. Do you have any advice for people who are maybe like interested in going on a similar path as the one that you did?
I would give different advice to people at different stages.
Sure.
For example, let's say you're in early secondary. You are not sure what you want to do at all. Right? I'll say extracurriculars are so important that you have no idea how much soft skills actually matter in the real world. Like you could really easily, you know, beat out people who are just very academically inclined. I'll say secure better jobs, you know, be more successful in life. Simply with better soft skills.
Right.
So please, if you haven't started, do explore the extracurricular activities that your school offers and join the ones that you're interested. And don't be so selective with what you join. You just join any that you're interested first, and then weed out the ones that you realize it's not for you. And strive towards taking leadership positions. It might feel uncomfortable at first. It's something you definitely get used to and you enjoy doing. I can guarantee that. Yeah, so I think this for people at any stage. If you have not already, and I learned this from the self-help gurus and self-help books, right? Which is that bless you now. So to really step out of the comfort zone, like stepping out of the comfort zone is the single most important thing to do if you wanna, I guess, like be a successful student. Yeah, so back to the leadership role example. Maybe a lot of people they don't apply or they don't even try to go for like for example, director or president role in their club because they are afraid, you know, of like perhaps like not doing a good job and then like the whole committee judging them. I would say like just go for it. Yeah, so even if let's say you really end up not doing as good of a job, you're going to do a better job next time simply because you fail. And it is just something you have to hold on, you have to clench onto. Just keep having these uncomfortable experiences. Eventually, you enjoy challenging yourself. Yeah, and you can't stop. So that's like the advice I have. So just start being uncomfortable.
Amazing.
And you'll not just become comfortable, it'll become rewarding. That's it. Yeah.
There's this quote that I hold to, and it goes something like, "Ask not for an easy life, but instead for the strength to overcome a hard one." Something like that, yeah. Do you have any last words to share with the audience or any, I guess, like projects that you want to share, or like say things, causes that you care about, you want people to like join?
I can shout out something. Oh yeah, go first. So recently, we had a bunch of people. We started a non-profit. It's called KIDS. So it's the KITS. It stands for Kids Inspiring Tomorrow's Success. So basically, what a bunch of us realized is, what seemingly one of the biggest reasons why, like how people say like the poor stay poor, the rich get richer, that kind of thing, is opportunities, right? And work and exposure to insights on what to do to become successful. Like for example, you don't see a lot of, for example, B40 people taking leadership roles in clubs. That and one, because of public schools don't offer that much, and international schools do offer more leadership positions. Two, because like maybe a lot of them they have to spend so much of their time in a part-time job, for example at Starbucks to support their family. So it's and this ultimately leads to them, perhaps not being so competitive in the job market as compared to people, for example, who had time to study more and get better grades and take up more leadership roles. Right? Those people are more competitive in the job market, and yeah. So for us, we're trying to equal the playing field in this regard. Opening up shadowing opportunities to people who are from more underprivileged backgrounds, or just exposing people to the importance of soft skills, which like people from these backgrounds might not really be aware about. Help them fare better, right? Yeah, and really like bring them out of their situation and be very, very successful. And yeah. Well, I hope that that project is going to be super successful. And so thank you as well for coming on this interview. Been amazing right here. And yeah, so all the best in the hashtag journey right here. Spare me when you eventually become president of the world and join secret society. Thank you. President of the world. No one should have that much power.
Whoa.
No one should have that much power.
No one should have that. And that is a good note to end this video. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.